Greetings once again, heroes and villains out there. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of My Hero Academia. And we near the end of all. As in the previous chapter, All for One's body started to crumble away because of the overuse that it had experienced. Used and abused, it was far too much for it. Especially after Deku's last attack. All for One did all he could to eventually stitch himself together using rivet stab, or even just, I think it was his mother's quirk, the bone-like protrusions and stuff like that, knowing that his best chance was to transfer his quirk to someone else and live on through that. He went after Deku and the heroes, but before All for One and Deku could clash once again, Kurogiri's need to protect Tomura Shigaraki kicked in, and he jumped in between the two before they could strike. Although it was seen as something kind of akin to what Shirokuma was, his need to help and the somewhat bond Kurogiri and Tomura seemed to have had. Was it something greater than that? Or was it just programming? Hard to say. But who should come to Deku's aid? None other than Bakugo, who, despite his limbs no longer working, much like Deku, he went for a climactic bite, an explosive one too, getting Kurogiri out of the way and allowing Deku to punch All for One once again. As this strike hit, All for One was able to interact with the last embers of his brother Yuichi. All for One begged for his brother not to leave him, to only look at him excessively, but Yuichi, he had no pity for his brother. His brother could have stopped his mad campaign long ago, and now all that lies for his brother is oblivion, because Yoichi isn't the only one who was awoken. All the other One for All users were awoken as well, including Tomura himself, who struck out at All for One's spirit, utterly annihilating him. Deku destroyed the body. They destroyed the soul. And as Tomura Shigaraki's body started to fade away, Tomura and Deku spent one last moment conversing, with Tomura accepting his defeat, but asking Deku to tell Spinner, if he's still lucent, that Tomura Shigaraki fought to destroy, right up until the end. Tomura did not repent for what he did. He found something he believed in and he fought for it right up to the end. But the villains are now defeated and gone. What comes next? Join me as I find out, won't you? Oddly enough, for a series about My Hero Academia, we pick up in the United States in Washington. Oh, we have the newscaster, the really cute looking newscaster, Meryl. I'm glad she didn't end up losing her job. She was probably just on like a probationary thing. She reports, as we can see, we've got clear sunny skies across the entire country. We were anticipating a week of stormy weather. I'd like to apologize for being so off the mark. And the director says, please, Meryl, no more weird outbursts. Meryl says, but hold on to your hats out there, folks, as we're expecting some strong wind. Yes, the gusts that blew that day came in the wake of a great battle. Stay tuned for updates on what sort of effects we'll be seeing from that. We see several heroes, both Japanese and from abroad, helping to rebuild. Salam saying, bring that here, won't you? While Cemento says, sure, I appreciate the help. And I think we could see Power Loader out there, moving around some rubble. Some kids and their families are returning to what I assume was their, destroyed home that has now been rebuilt, with a young girl saying, look, our house got built. And the kid says, yeah, it sprang up quick as bamboo. More than likely, Izuku's narration saying, 1 week passed. The restoration efforts that had stalled after the Jakku conflict picked back up at a breakneck pace. With the battles over, the United States and many other nations showed up with an outpouring of support and resources. I mean, especially, it's the big thing of, we weren't there to help previously, so we gotta make sure we're here to help clean things up as a show of goodwill, and sorry we weren't there to actually help out. We see Big Red Dot talking with a reporter and accidentally spewing water on her. Sorry, lady, we're caught in the splash zone. As he says, after seeing their wild fight, we couldn't sit back and do nothing. I guess we can see a building foreman saying, the Survey Bureau lent us the plans and blueprint so we can start rebuilding whatever's on the docket. It's all been cleared with the Building Standards Act. So they have information about what was previously there, and they can try their best in order to remake what was destroyed more or less as it was, but just brand new. We even see one hero who's able to make 3D readouts of what should be there. That is incredibly handy in this situation. We see heroes like Epilogue and young heroes like Setsuna helping in the rebuilding process. We even see Koichi finally from Vigilantes. Wish we had actually got to see him involved in the battle, but it is what it is. We then pick up with Bakugo, who is in very bad condition. Like, arm bandaged up, he is on a ton of respirators and equipment. Like, this is like the most realistic thing possible, because it's just like, no, Bakugo had his body wrecked. He should not be in anything less of this state, as a doctor tells him and his parents. Before the advent of the exceptional restoration on a similar scale would have taken over a decade, but with so many capable quirks devoted to the effort, it shouldn't be long before things won't ever go back to normal. It was someone talking about the restoration effort, and then we cut to the doctor who said won't ever go back to normal, talking about Bakugo. He says, as I explained prior to the surgery, this is the best we could hope for. I promise you we did all we could, especially after seeing your son's exploit. A great number of bone segments had to be joined and set, and I can't guarantee that any amount of rehabilitation will give him back the use of the arm. If he's determined to work as a hero, he can consider a prosthesis like Miriko's. Got the Miriko right before the final battle saying, rehab? Screw that, lop it off. So, okay, I was kind of wondering, because I'm like, didn't they have saved, like, at the very least, like, her leg? It's like, oh no, she would just like, no, I want to go in guns blazing, cut it off. I'll get a robotic prosthesis, which, goddamn. Bakugo says, nah, forget that, because my quirk comes from my palm. His mom calls out to him as his dad wipes away tears, and Bakugo says, plus, he never had one. Thinking about Izuku and all the damage he did to his body. Bakugo says, give me that rehab. Bring on the pain. The sooner the better. And the doctor says, no, only low effort exercises for now. Bakugo's shocked, saying, yeah. Doctor says, more than your arm, the problem is your heart. You'd be dead without Ed Shot's masterful suturing, which helped restart your heart and lungs. I have no idea how you managed to keep fighting in that state, and I'm frankly flabbergasted that you blasted your way across several kilometers after that. Like, right? It's like, kid, you should be dead several times over. You were given a second shot at life. Second shot. Funny, Doc. And you heeded the call. In any case, my only prescription for now is bed rest. Bakugo sulking a little bit, then pick up with Deku and All Might, like full on, All Might's got cast down his arms and legs and a neck brace. He's on assisted breathing, understandable, and has all those machines hooked up to him and all these readouts. Deku has casts on both of his arms. His legs seem fine, which, thankful for that. Kind of looked like his eye, some trauma to his eye and head, as well as his cheek. Oh man, might have some scars after all this. All Might calls out to Deku, are you awake? Deku questions, what are the odds we'd end up side by side, All Might? All Might says, Tsukauchi arranged it this way. Deku says, All Might says, they're short on rooms, and this makes life easier for the guard. Deku says, how are you feeling? All Might says, they said they never had to use quite so many bolts to cobble someone back together. Oof. God. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to walk back. He's not gonna be able to walk properly. And like, man, with all the destruction that Deku did to his body, I'm surprised Recovery Girl wasn't able to do much for him. How about you, young Midoriya? Deku says, I'm getting back some feeling in my arm. Some feeling. Deku laments, I couldn't save Tenko's life, even after reaching into his heart and shattering that hatred. Tenko remained the League of Villains leader to the very end, which I'll be honest, I'm kind of thankful for. His life might have been manipulated, but it's what he chose in the end. It was the one thing that Stain criticized about him. He said that Tomura Shigaraki had no conviction. No, he died with that conviction. It wasn't a good thing. He still wanted to destroy Japan, but he was doing it for others, and he was doing it for himself as well. He saw the state of the world, and it doesn't undercut the fact that when he was young and he was out on the street, no one came to help him. Maybe that was all part of the machinations of All for One, but even so, the fact that so much could be manipulated, and his dad could be talked into being so cruel too. That really doesn't change a lot about what happened to him. All Might says, speaking as someone who went through a near-death experience, I want you to ask yourself, what was the look on his face in the end? Deku remembers his final words to Tomura, saying, it's already been destroyed. Yeah, a lot of Japan had been destroyed. And Tomura's final words were, oh yeah? That depends on what you people decide to do tomorrow. Make sure you do your damn best. All Might tells Deku, assuming he didn't still look like that crying kid, then you did save him. His soul, anyway. I mean, from a certain perspective, yeah. Because nothing but change can come after all of this. Will it last? I mean, for a while. People will remember the destruction Tomura wrought, and, maybe Tomura's story will be told, and maybe people will do better, or try to be better. It's hard to say. All Might says, and you did your duty to One for All. You passed it on, right? I feel it happening. Deku says, yeah, but I can still feel the ember smoldering inside. Bakugo slams open the door with his parents desperately trying to get him not to be upright right now, with Bakugo's mom yelling, how the hell are you up and about? So Deku calls out, Kachan, you're okay, phew. Sorry about him, All Might. He was just worried about you. Oh, wait, no. It's Bakugo's mom saying, sorry about him, All Might. He was just worried about you. You too, Deku, sorry. But Bakugo has a flummoxed look on his face, says, wait, the embers? Huh? You mean you're... And Bakugo remembers them when they both got their All Might card. He says, quirkless again? But Deku gives a smile saying, yep, but I never had a quirk in the first place, so I can't be too broken up about it. Besides, I couldn't have transferred it without wanting to. My time with it gave me a glimpse of the most amazing dream. Hey, I gotta give it to Deku. And it's like, hey, it was a gift, and it might have only been for a little over a year, but it was still a nice gift to have. Bakugo remembers when he used to bully Izuku, saying, what dirty trick did you use to do it, you quirkless twerp? And then Deku later telling him, then I'm gonna rise even higher than that. I've gotta keep growing too. And Bakugo's words to him, don't you dare let me surpass you, Izuku. Oh jeez. And Bakugo begins to well up with tears. Deku freaks out, saying, what, John? And Bakugo tries to hide it, saying, no. I mean, what the hell did I do to you? I guess I thought we'd be competing and I'd be on your heels for the rest of our lives. Oh jeez. Deku says, hey, cut that out. This isn't like you. I still got the embers for now. Like, being all banged up must be making you emotionally vulnerable. And All Might chimes in saying, the two of you have grown so strong. You're so different from the day we met. Bakugo's parents are silently waiting outside. As All Might says, Midoriya, I hate the way they translate it. I like young Midoriya. When I saw you diving into the fray that day, you were already a great hero, as far as I was concerned. But now, the way you're encouraging the world to get back on its feet, now you're a great hero to all of them, too. He then talks to Bakugo saying, and you made darn sure I'd still be around to say these things. You hear me, young Bakugo? To my pair of great heroes, I say thank you. God, even now, I'm freaking getting emotional. Jeez. And then, oh, jeez, yeah, he did end up with scars. Holy crap. As Deku and Bakugo manage to smile through their tears, we see other kids who are in the hospital too. Shoto. We see, I'm not sure what that is, like a pile of something? Like scales almost? The hell am I looking at? But Ochako's in the hospital and someone holding their stomach. Is it Aoyama? Did he lose his power too? Deku's narration says, when I was little, I thought that when the big battle was won, peace would be restored to the world just like that. However, our tale doesn't end here. It can't. The fight may be over, but until we lead the way to a brighter future, we've got to go further beyond. Then we pick up with Deku finally out of the hospital, a scar running across his head and his cheek, some of his hair gone, but he's in his uniform returning to school. We see Ida and Kaminari. My Hero Academia number 424, Epilogue. So thankfully this isn't like the end, because if this was just like My Hero Academia end, I'd be like, no, Horikoshi has invested too much in these characters to just end it with this. But oh man, that really got to me in the end. And the fact that, I mean, you know, the repercussions are sticking. Like that was a lot of damage they suffered. There's no walking all of that back. There's no quick return to active duty. They'll be able to probably take classes and stuff like that until they're back to being a bit more fighting fit. And maybe in their third year, they'll be able to do more, experience more, yada yada yada. We'll just have to wait and see on that. And some people aren't going to be the same again. Bakugo might not be able to use his right hand as much as he used to, and maybe he just focuses more on his left. Deku, who knows how capable he's going to be with his arms. Mirko got all kinds of jacked up and probably just said, cut him off to her remaining. Well, she only had nubs at that point. God. Cybernetic bunny coming through, I guess. The recovery girl was already kind of worn out from a lot of other things, so who knows? Shoot. I'm surprised the old lady didn't end up dying somewhere down the line. But I liked a lot of where this went, and I hope Horikoshi like damn near has a whole entire volume dedicated to the after effects, because you know that's what a lot of people care about. And I could see even the anime having a whole season dedicated to the aftermath of everything, or at least several episodes. Now everyone's helping in the rebuilding efforts. Again, as an apology for not being there at the final battle. I feel like we didn't really see the Skycrawler initially because maybe he was still not allowed back into Japan. That's entirely a possibility now that I think about it. And only now he was allowed to come back thanks to the rebuilding. So that might actually be a good reason why Koichi is only just now able to come back to Japan. It is unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen him in the final battle. And Deku has essentially made a promise to Tomura. It's just like to fix things. You know, this is the only time you're able to help make things better. All eyes and all influence kind of lies with Izuku. He helped save so many people and so many lives. His words will carry a lot of weight. And if he's able to speak up about a lot of the issues, use his platform to speak on a lot of the issues with Hero Society and society at large, and there's no greater time than now to do it. I don't know if Eri to be able to get anybody back to how they used to be, because without her horn, who knows if she could even use her quirk anymore. And though Deku only has the embers, All Might was still able to do a lot with those embers. But, I mean, he passed it on, but who and what he passed it on to is no longer there. But All Might says he feels it burning inside somewhere else. Did Deku pass on the abilities and powers to someone else? Also a question of how badly a lot of the other students have suffered too. I mean, if we're seeing all this with everybody else, I mean, Jiro, and I doubt she got her other earphone jack back. And a lot of the other kids suffered a little less, but I mean, there's also Hawks, who probably doesn't have his power back. And there's a lot more repercussions than a lot of people probably would have thought. Someone out there is probably mad that All Might didn't die, but all things considered, to have lost All Might on top of all of this, it honestly feel a lot less like a victory, if I'm being honest. And I'm really intrigued to see what happens next. The battle is won, but there's still a lot to be done. Let me know your thoughts on what you want to see happen next in this last few chapters of My Hero Academia for as long as we have it. I want to hear from you. So like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.